In the forests of central Ghana, the Ashanti people have established a diverse and vivid culture. This culture is inseparably tied to the surrounding environment. They spin thread from homegrown cotton on homemade wheels and bobbins. They carve mahogany and other tropical woods. Rhythm is a part of most of their activities, from preparing a meal to dancing and ceremony. But perhaps the most important aspect of Ashanti culture concerns health and healing. The traditional priest healers of the Ashanti tribe are central to both religion and health in their society. Their various spiritual communications, in combination with a vast repertoire of herbal knowledge, amount to a unique brand of traditional medicine that has served their people for centuries. These are the Akomfo. This is the road to Penting, a small Ashanti village of no more than 2,000. On the surface, the village looks typical. Most people have a small plot of land and farm the essentials: cassava, plantain, and peanuts. A few cocoa farmers harvest pittance crops of Ghana's black gold. The kids that attend school all meet in one building, and soccer is the favorite pastime. But Penting is different from other towns. It is widely known as the site of a powerful shrine and its powerful priest, Akomfo Nana Jesse Obeng.
Many people talk to somebody that go to Penting, and that particular person will think the Penting is a very big town, unless he will reach here that he will see that it's a village. Because the name and how the person will describe the gods and how you see that particular person will examine that, oh, Penting is a very big town, but it's a village.
To understand the work of Jesse and other Akomfo, it is important to get an idea of Ashanti religious beliefs and their central role in everyday life. For most Ashantis, the spiritual realm is just as real as the physical world around them. Every activity, whether in business, family, or travel, can be influenced by spiritual forces. In the Ashanti scheme, these forces originated in a supreme being they call Onyame. The Almighty God, Onyame, created the earth and everything in it. However, the Ashanti do not believe that he is directly involved with the world's affairs. They believe that the great God created lesser gods they call Abasom. The role of priests like Jesse is to be the mortal link to the divine through direct interaction with the Abasom. These lesser gods help man deal with everyday problems such as sickness. The Ashanti traditionally believe that the Abasom live in prominent geographical locations, places like the sea, rivers, and trees. During ceremonies, they will leave these places and come to whichever shrine they have chosen to serve.
As at now, I, Akomfo Nana Obeng Jesse, believe that God is one, and it's through God that the gods came to the world, that is the earth as we are now. And the gods believe that they have to do things according to the rule of the god.
Jesse's Abasom are river gods. He took us to the river Bonsu outside Penting, where his gods live.
These gods protect people. They have lasted for long. They have lasted for so long. Since 1948 up to date, that is 55 years as at now. We say they are still working. We see no attendance is good. If you go to them, you can observe that these gods look like father, mother, and their children. They look like a family. This is their house. I can say this is their home. And because you cannot see them, this is their home. So always they travel. They are not always in, but they are plenty. So at least the father will be in and the mother will be in always. They travel to so many places, America, so every part in this world. They travel because they have many people who have traveled to overseas. They have to go and visit them in spirituality.
The Ashanti idea of Nkrabya, or destiny, is an important force in their culture. The village elders of Penting explain that Jesse was marked for priesthood from the day of his birth. As the story goes, his uncle, who was the sitting Akomfo at the time, fell into trance and walked to Jesse's home. He took Jesse from his parents and brought him back to the shrine for the entire day. When the uncle returned the babe later that evening, those present took it as a sign of Jesse's life destiny to succeed his uncle as priest.
Somebody predicted to us that someday he will be a priest. In his final year in the secondary school, about 7 years ago, when he was in his final year, all of a sudden he was in this position.
You see, it's our forefathers who brought this gods to this town, or is this the gods are river gods, and they came from the river to this town, and they were living with my forefathers. And as at now, I am living in my forefather's house, and I don't have to ignore these gods, whether I like it or not, because I was unwilling to perform this work. And the gods was intended to punish me severely, so that whether I like it or not, I have to come and serve them.
Although Jesse went to high school, most Akomfo don't receive much, if any, formal education. They learn what they need for their work directly from the spiritual realm.
Oh, I didn't went for any training at anywhere, but it's the gods who trained me as at now. And the priest work look like education. It never ends. You have to always study a lot. And day and night, as modernization goes on, the gods also teaches you more helps. Either sitting as I'm sitting, they can tell me something. Because you don't have ears to listen to the gods, you will never hear. And they can teach me something in my eyes. Because you don't have vision to see the gods, I only can see to them and talk to them.
In addition to gods, other good spirit beings visit the Akomfo and teach them. These beings are called motia, the Ashanti word for dwarves. The dwarves usually live in the forest and take a priest away for several years and teach him or her how to find and use curative herbs. The motia took this Akomfo for 7 years. Though he was not visibly gone, he described himself as feeling lighter, like something was missing from him.
But on the mountains, you can hear their noise, but We can hear the noise, but we cannot see them. But Nana can see them.
A visit from the Motia is sometimes made known to the village when the Akomfo arrives home bounded with vines from the forest. A shrine worker follows the priest and sprinkles talcum powder over the vines. This represents the spiritual presence of the Motia.
Oh, they look like a human being as we are, but they are very short and they have 10 round their foot bath, and they have so many beard, and they look very nice, but they are short. Yes, please, a long one like this as yours. And some of them have rasta as I am, tall rasta. You see, that's how it is. This is a praise for the motia. Oh. You see, we use this bread to feed. So if you would have bring the biscuit, we have put one here.
Okay.
You get me right?
Yes.
Yes. And this too is a powder that they use. You see? Mm-hmm. This is the powder.
Awukwa ayese bodan mu na mo de yakọ sa bodan mu asem ese ne yakase bia bo as me koma me wata wo nso asem me kwa ya no believe se mota wo nso na se mota wa bo ani ba bo kuro se de yeti o mo kuro no wasa se nya fita se enwera ase no bika so ko nso asem me de mota na me yuso ya no ko nso asem ko homa me wata ndi bisa on to botan mu me kwa ese kuro o mo ba bi o mo wonu a se de video ye hwi no ma ye nyina no mo so best ko mo krom no kwa ya ani gichase na wono no ma wo de bi hu okon hu motan be bitiri ya nan bitiri ya nsia age so mo sa spirit ni na wo to bo no ma hu ne hu no
No, it's not properly.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Penting has no running water and no well. Each day, water has to be carried from the bush into town by the children of the village. The trek brings them past the grounds of the great Bojose shrine. The shrine is a sacred place. When you're there, it's almost like being in a cathedral or other church building. Bojose is the name of the great patriarch of Penting's divine family. Jesse claims that in 1948, Bojose and his clan of gods settled on this spot as their point of contact with the villagers. The shrine serves as Jesse's base of operations. In the shrine house, he keeps the suman of the shrine. Suman are physical objects that possess sacred power, and it is through these that the gods manifest themselves, while Jesse is possessed.
And this is the crows of the gods.
So this one, the father wears this one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
The father wears this one.
And the red one?
What?
The red one?
The red one is for the one who always making for consultation.
Oh, there's a specific god that does consultation.
Oh no!
Or did they...
some years ago, this one, the father also were doing that. But the father, when he comes, he never talks. He just uses his hands to make signs.
During an Akomfo ceremony, he or she will wear different hats and robes that indicate the presence of specific gods. Different gods have unique personalities and roles. One may hunt witches, another may foretell the future, and still another may give good advice. Often, the garb is strewn with various suman, made of things such as cowrie shells, leather, and rope. This armband, for example, has the power to warn an Akomfo by tightening when a bad person approaches.
Some of the gods.
Jesse explains that the robe to his left represents a god who is fond of traveling.
Yes.
When this god possesses Jesse, he pours sand directly into his eyes. Why does he put sand in the eyes, do you know?
Maybe, I don't know. And if I become free, I don't feel pains about that. You see? And it's not I who is doing that, it's the God doing that. And it has happened so many years since 1948 as at now. And this too is for the witchcrafts. The witchcraft that the gods have hunted them or they catch them already. If the gods catch somebody like a witchcraft and the others, they have to correct either the one of the clove so that it will represent that you have been catch by the gods already. I told you already, this one is nothing but it's just powder. You can eat some, and this can treat so many. It's the gods using. You get it? This one is the gods using, and it treats a lot of sicknesses. For instance, if you have backbone pains, headache pains, stomach pains, if you want to have a baby, they can give you some. If you are selling things and people are not coming to buy, you have to give you some and make some kind of sacrifice to it, and you use it, and people will just come into you and buy it. You see, follow me. You have to.
Many of Jesse's treatments involve washing the body with certain herbal concoctions. For this purpose, he maintains a small bath facility at the shrine. So they wash themselves?
Yes, please. By using this kind of herbs, prepared herbs. It's just a root, herbs, and the others. And this can give you become healthy, very strong. You see, and if riches cannot attach you again. If you use this one, riches cannot attach you again.
So these are protective herbs against
please.
witchcraft?
Yes, please. Against witchcraft and some kind of sicknesses. You see, it do a lot of things. Maybe if somebody wants to have good luck, or if somebody wants to travel to overseas, they just come and protect themselves and go.
This area of the shrine has special ceremonial significance. From this spot, the shrine workers summon the gods from the river Bonsu by pouring a libation.
You see where this man is coming to sit?
Yes.
This one, we use it as to phone them, for them to be aware that we are pouring libation. Okay. Because the gods are not living in this house, they are living in the riverside.
Right.
You get me right?
Yes.
So this man is the man who always pour libation. You see, and the distinguished staff, one of the distinguished staff will stand here and handle the distinct.
Libation is an act of sacrifice that calls the gods to attention on behalf of a client. It usually involves pouring high-proof alcohol or schnapps over an object and then reciting words or prayers.
Oh, nyakupo pia na bonso. Pia na ponyamisa. Pia na ponyamisa. Pia na ponyamisa. Asante ponyamisa.
At the Bojuse shrine, a libation is usually accompanied by rhythmic tapping and bells. This helps prepare Jesse for possession.
And if I have a problem, I have to stand here and maybe kneel down like this. You get me right? Yes. And they will pour libation for me.
The operation of the shrine is a community effort. Villagers take on various practical and spiritual responsibilities. Jesse's father, for example, keeps the books, while others pour libation or assist Jesse during possession.
So we have about 40 people in this. Yes, please. About 40 people in the shrine who are helping the work of the gods.
Most workers expressed that they perform their duties both out of respect and fear of the gods. Within Jesse's own family, there is some dissension regarding the demands of the gods, and his position of authority routinely puts him at odds with his mother. Despite ongoing difficulties, his mother faithfully cooks and cleans for the 20 or more patients that may be staying for treatment. The village provides food and lodging for anyone needing extended treatment, whether they can pay or not. To ensure that there is adequate food, the shrine staff helps Jesse maintain a large farm.
I use 4 laborers to join me to weed. I'm a good farmer. I work hard during farm processes.
Jesse farms maize, yams, cocoa yams, peanuts, and cassava.
This work we are doing, I don't pay them. It's just sacrifice that they have all sacrificed themselves to help.
The diviner is the religious specialist who has the ability to tap knowledge or information that is not accessible to the ordinary person.
One of the best examples that comes to my mind of divination is from the Bible, and that is Joseph interpreting the dreams of the Pharaoh. This is divination. Joseph had that gift, he had that ability. Here in the Ashanti region of Ghana, divination almost involves exclusively spirit possession. And then the spirit overcomes the healer, and the healer is then able to interpret what is wrong with the person and proceed from there as to how to deal with it.
One important way the Ashanti use divination is to find out why they are sick. They travel, sometimes long distances, to consult with Akomfo. When the Akomfo are possessed, they can tell their patients the origin of their disease and suggest a course of treatment.
Shrines are in fourth dimension, so they can see things which we in our normal life can't see. In fourth dimension, it's magic to the third dimension person. And so anything that happens in the fourth dimension is explained to the priest. And if he fails to inform when he's in the trance.
There are lots of stories that you can get from people here about having gone to the hospital, having gone to a doctor, and the symptoms prolong, and the doctor can do nothing about it, and he's tried this and he's tried that, and the symptoms are still there, and it might be there months or even years later. And then someone gets the tip, well, you've got to take that to an Akomfo, you've got to take it to a priest, a healer.
Most of the time, patients visit an Akomfo only when they suspect that their illness has been caused spiritually. While physically caused diseases can be cured by a regular herbalist or at a hospital, only the Akomfo have the power to discern causes of spiritual illness through divination. The Ashanti call this spiritual kind of illness sunsum yare.
If it is sunsum yare, nobody can see with his physical eyes unless you consult somebody.
Yeah. Because there are some sickness. You go to hospital and they will make x-ray and the like, they will not know where the disease is. But if you come and it's sunsum yare, the gods will tell him this sickness is not a hospital sickness, it's sunsum yare.
I heard of a story, a guy who had a dream, and in the dream he was being bitten by a snake. And in the morning he had his leg bitten. Okay? So that's a very strange, and in that sense, he would rather probably goes to the Akomfo to find out who really bitten him out.
People believe there is a spiritual and physical sicknesses, because physical, once you are eating and once you are drinking water and others, you can get sick. And once we have witchcrafts and the others, not witchcrafts alone, by doing bad things against somebody, by cursing people, they can even use water to curse you, and you can die.
A curse is one example of a spiritual cause of disease. Jesse explained to us that one day, the owner of this pineapple farm discovered that some of his pineapples were missing. Upset by this misfortune, the farmer placed a pineapple stalk in the sacred river to curse the unknown thief.
This is the pineapple, and because somebody have stolen from his farm, he has using this one and made some kind of prayers to it, so that that particular person who stolen the pineapple will be punished. That's why you see it.
The thief may be punished with a sickness, say typhoid. However, the Ashanti believe that because this particular instance of typhoid would be spiritually caused, the thief probably would not respond to Western antibiotics. Instead, he would need to find an Akomfo who could reverse the effects of the spiritual curse. Wednesday is consultation day at the Great Bojose Shrine. People from all around come to Penting to make consultation with the gods.
It has reached 8.
As they arrive, they take a piece of wood with a number and wait for it to be called. Ya Ajakoma came to Penting to ask the gods why her grandson began having epileptic fits and how he can be cured. Ya first consulted with the gods 2 weeks ago. She now waits to speak with them one final time to find out if there's anything more she should do before she leaves Penting. As the staff calls the gods from the riverside, Jesse waits to become possessed. When he is ready, he will sit in this chair and pour a libation. Jesse's gods did not allow us to film him in possession, but we spoke with Ya after her divination session to find out what the gods told her.
Okay, wakacha me say, akolano, obi na eye no, nti nipa kro no obechi no, nti mempe eho niema emra na wofanye enyi musuo ma no. Okay, me de ne ba ye ne de, se say yare no eye, nti se first no. Tambia dabia se etoda da ku say na ya sori anope betimi aba be se 5 times ansa na ade asa se so me de ne ba ye no me fan se de bre na no nko an de ba ka ho a eye 4 times.
God help you to travel.
Rituals such as animal sacrifice are common prescriptions of the gods. As directed by the gods, Akomfo often sacrifice goats, sheep, and chickens furnished by their clients. These sacrifices can have many functions. Sometimes a sacrifice engages the gods to right certain wrongs in the life of the client. Other times, the sacrifice itself may be a means of divination as to what course a client should take. In this man's case, he desired to obtain a yes or no answer to a business question. If the sacrificed chicken falls on its stomach, the answer is no. If it falls on its back, the answer is yes. In this visit, the man sacrificed 3 chickens and got 3 no answers. It wasn't until the 4th that he got a yes answer and was pleased. In addition to rituals, the gods often prescribe certain herbal treatments.
Use this for sneezing.
Many of the herbs Jesse uses grow right at the shrine.
This is called nunu.
Nunu.
Yes.
Smells good.
It smells good, and all these things are herbs. If somebody have malaria, you can just boil this one for that particular person to wash it or hair bath. Get me right.
Do you use cocoa tree medicinally?
Yes, please. The tree, the root for coughing, the leaf for blood tonic.
Akomfo often administer herbs topically by mixing them with shea butter. An expensive luxury in the West, shea butter is abundant in Ghana. In the northern regions, some villages subsist almost entirely by collecting shea nuts and making shea butter. The consultation ceremony differs with each Akomfo. This is Madame Sewa in the nearby village of Daho. To divine, she draws certain objects from a small pot and looks into a mirror covered with feathers.
Hana.
While in possession, she doesn't speak the native language Twi, but a language only her assistants can understand.
And then what do you use it for again?
Here she is trying to explain that the herbs she has picked should be taken through inhalation. She becomes frustrated when her assistants do not interpret correctly.
They are not giving her they are not getting the correct information from her.
Only a few kilometers away, Akomfo Kweku Nkuma has a different style of divination. This man has come to Kweku for diagnosis. To diagnose the illness, Kweku rubs the man's body with an egg, as if it somehow absorbs information about the man's condition. He then says some prayers into the egg and breaks it as a sacrifice to the gods. Information about the sickness may be coded in the splatter pattern of the egg. As is often the case, the Akomfo takes a short break to dance for the villagers that have come to watch. The second divining tool Kweku uses is a kind of diagnostic mirror. He holds the mirror close to the man's body and looks at the reflections to obtain information. Finally, he dusts the man with talcum powder, universally used among Akomfo as a source of spiritual power. The information collected during this session was presented to the patient later on in the shrine house. Just as he was getting started with the interview, Kweku's cell phone rang.
Hello? Hello?
In a strange juxtaposition of ancient and modern, he proceeded to take what he said was a consultation phone call from the United States. As the ceremony ends, the Akomfo must come out of possession. This occurs in a variety of ways, most of which involve some sort of startling event such as falling or jumping. Possession is usually followed by a period of exhaustion and sometimes unconsciousness. After Madame Sewa jumps, her body becomes noticeably limp as she loses consciousness. In rural areas, the Ashanti continue to rely on traditional healers such as the Akomfo for health problems. Though Western medicine continues to grow, it is only one of many resources people use when they are sick. As long as the Ashanti believe in spiritual sickness, or sunsum yare, they will rely on their Akomfo to treat it.
Onyami awon tonko. Wanu ani ane de nam. Akote